The air in the Metropolitan Museum's Amana Gallery didn't feel still. It felt violated. Thomas Reed, head curator, stood frozen before the wreckage. The state-of-the-art display case, pressure plates, laser grids, seismic sensors wired straight to the NYPD, wasn't just broken, it was defiled. Inside, the midnight blue velvet cushion lay bare under the harsh gallery lights. The Menet Neb amulet, the whisper of secrets, was gone. Its absence wasn't empty, it screamed, a raw, psychic tear in the room. Reed's stomach twisted, not just at the insurance nightmare, but at the sheer, impossible arrogance of it. Like a ghost walks through titanium-reinforced glass. Beside him, his assistant Maya Sharma trembled. Her dark eyes, usually bright with excitement about ancient Egypt, were wide with shock. She'd built this exhibit, her life's work, but to the NYPD detectives swarming the room, led by tough-faced Detective Kowalski, she was suspect number one. Their logic was simple and brutal. Who benefits? Maya's mother had huge medical bills. Case closed before the fingerprint dust settled, Reed argued. He pointed to the security logs, glowing on a tablet. No breaches, no alarms. The museum was locked tight overnight. Kowalski, looking tired in his cheap suit, just shrugged. Tech glitches, Dr. Reed, or someone made it look like one. We'll check her money, her phone, everything. Standard stuff. Reed saw the future. Maya's career ruined, her name dragged through the mud by newspapers, while the real thief vanished with an artifact rumored to drive people mad. Desperation, cold and sharp, replaced frustration. Reed remembered Robert Vance, a retired government analyst he'd met years ago over expensive whiskey. Vance had talked about problems too strange for rulebooks. They only see patterns in the manual. Tom, Vance had said, the world throws curveballs, dipped in shadow. Reed found Vance in a book-filled house in Carroll Gardens. The old man, smelling of pipe smoke and secrets, listened as Reed described the impossible theft, the amulet's dark legends, and Maya's trouble. Kowalski, Reed finished, his voice tight, sees a scared kid with debt, not the impossibility in that gallery. Vance steepled his fingers. Kowalski's a good cop. He follows the rules, but the Menet Neb, that's not a rulebook case. That's a nightmare built by someone who laughs at daylight. He leaned forward, eyes sharp. Forget the NYPD, forget the FBI. There's only one man in this city who might untangle this mess. Silas Locke. Reed frowned. Locke, the disgraced Fed, the resonance consultant nut in the village. Disgraced, fired, and strange as hell. Vance confirmed. Former FBI mind doctor. Brilliant, weird, too weird. Got mixed up in the Blackwood sanitarium mess. Started talking about psychic residue. They called it a breakdown. Fired him. Now he hides in a junk shop off Bleecker Street. Charges a fortune, but he sees things, Tom. Things that leave normal cops confused. He once found a missing secret drone for the government. They paid him in cash, then erased him. He's your last hope. Reed gave up on the rules. Locke Resonance Solutions was squeezed between a falafel place and a head shop. The window was dirty, showing dusty rocks and a stuffed Revon underglass. Inside smelled like ozone, old paper, and something metallic, like old pennies. Silas Locke was thin, wrapped in a faded purple velvet jacket, his white hair wild, his eyes, pale as ice, locked onto Reed. He listened without a word as Reed told him everything. The amulet's evil history, the perfect crime, Maya's coming ruin. Police see the easy bait, Locke murmured, his voice like dry leaves scraping stone. He wasn't looking at Reed. His gaze followed invisible lines on a huge chalkboard, covered in strange symbols. Motive, access. They see the splash, not the stone thrown into the dark water. He named his price, sky high, plus extra 4 resonance calibration. Reed tasted desperation, bitter as metal. He agreed. Locke's methods were unsettling. He didn't go to the Met. Instead, he demanded super detailed, digital pictures of everything. The broken case from every angle, the empty cushion's fabric, scuff marks on the floor 10 feet away, even dust motes frozen in the crime scene photos. He took pieces of the security glass, handling them with gloved, pale fingers. He vanished 4 hours behind the thick, soundproof door. From behind it came a strange symphony, the deep hum of heavy power, the high whine of machines, the frantic clicking of old computers, doing things Reed couldn't understand. Locke came out only to whisper about thought ghosts and mind decay fields. Meanwhile, Kowalski dropped the hammer. Maya's bank records showed 3 strange deposits, $250,000 total, sent through fake companies that vanished. Her alibi for the theft night, home alone, working, couldn't be checked. The arrest warrant was being written. Reed begged Locke, his hope wearing thin. The museum bosses, scared of scandal, demanded answers Reed didn't have. Reporters circled Maya's apartment building. Days passed. Reed hardly slept. The amulet's absence felt like a heavy cold spot. He started noticing things. A faint, wrong whispering in the Met's empty halls after hours. Maybe just the air system. A quick metallic taste when he looked at the crime scene photos. Maya, on a secret call, sounded broken, scared. It's not just the cops, Dr. Reed, she whispered. I feel watched, and my dreams, sand and screaming. Then, a short text from Locke. Come, now. The back room buzzed with static and smelled sharply of ozone. Locke looked hollow, ghostly, but his pale eyes burned. Strange machines showed crazy, jumping lines. A printer spat out weird symbols. The amulet wasn't stolen, Locke said, his voice rough. It was invited out. The security wasn't tricked. It was made to forget the amulet was ever there. A powerful mind trick. Remote hypnosis, boosted by something ancient, needs special, harsh brain training. Think monk meets hacker meets torturer. Reed stared, cold spreading through him. That's crazy. To Kowalski's rulebook. Yes, Locke rasped. The money in Maya's account. Fake bait. A simple frame job, hiding a much smarter crime. The thief needed a loud scapegoat to pull every eye away. He pointed to a screen. It showed a blurry, processed image from another camera. A reflection in the glass over a Ming vase across the hall. A distorted figure stood near the Amana Gallery entrance hours before the theft. Not checking locks, but standing totally still, head tilted, as if listening to the pressure plates. See the pasture, the unnatural stillness. This isn't a thief, it's a conduit. Conduit for what? Reed whispered, feeling the gallery's chill here in Locke's cluttered room. Locke looked troubled. Something that knows the Menitneb's real job isn't telling truth, but forcing it, making truth, or its crushing weight, hit a chosen mind. The echo poured from the glass. He tapped a wildly jumping line on a screen. It's faint, ripped apart on purpose, but it carries a trace of pure, aimed evil. This wasn't stealing, it was turning it on, and using it. Reed's blood turned to ice. Using it, against who? Where is it? Locke shook his head slowly. That's the trap, Dr. Reed. The trace. It breaks apart. It points to Wall Street, then Harlem, then fades over the ocean, like the amulet is whispering noise over its own path. The user is hiding it, sending out false signals. He pointed to the crazy pulse on the screen. This evil, it's not waiting, it's hunting. He leaned closer, his voice dropping to a low rasp that vibrated Reed's bones. Framing Maya, not just misdirection. It was noise, loud, messy noise to cover the first quiet tremors of the amulet's real work. Kowalski, the museum, you all looking at the physical crime, the easy target, while the real crime, the whispering, started somewhere else, quietly, invisibly. Locke straightened, his face hard. I can clear Maya Sharma, the fake money trail. Child's play next to the main act. Simple code, using servers I know. I'll give you the proof to smash Kowalski's case. He waved a hand at the jumping screens. But the amulet, it's awake, and it's not with a thief, it's with a tool. Someone who knew how to use it, who wanted the world watching Maya, while they pointed the Menitneb's poison whisper at its real victim. Relief for Maya fought with pure terror in Reed's chest. Who are they targeting? Locke met his eyes. In those pale depths, Reed didn't see an answer. He saw his own face, twisted by dawning, awful fear. That, Dr. Reed, Locke whispered. The hum of his machines grew louder, filling the small room with an electric buzz, like the city holding its breath. Is the silence after the scream? The user hid their plan behind Maya's trouble. They used the loud noise of her arrest to hide the first tiny cracks. Who feels terribly exposed lately, haunted by secrets they buried, or maybe suddenly lost, attacking things only they can see. Locke's stare drilled into Reed. Don't look for a burglar. Look for the first cracks in a perfect mask. The whisper has started. Its roots are growing, and by the time you hear its voice clearly, he let the words hang, heavy in the thick air. It's too late. The mind it holds is already breaking. Reed stumbled out of Locke's shop holding a tiny drive. Maya's freedom. The weight of her doom lifted, replaced by a colder, heavier fear deep in his bones. The amulet wasn't lost. It was working, somewhere in the huge, busy city. The Menitneb was whispering its poison. Its target, unaware, walked streets full of life, maybe already feeling the first tiny stings of unwanted truth, the first shakes of madness wrapping around their mind. Hidden under the fading noise of Maya's frame-up, the real crime wasn't the theft. It was the quiet, invisible kill happening right now. Reed hit the busy sidewalk on Bleecker Street. The roar of traffic, the blare of horns, the pieces of 1,000 talks. It all hit him, not as the city's lively beat, but as a wild, scared noise trying and failing to drown out one single, sneaky whisper threading through it all. He looked up at the tall buildings, the countless windows shining like watching eyes. Who was hearing it? Distressed bankers seeing plots in stock prices, the politicians suddenly telling old lies to shocked helpers, the normal neighbor who started yelling at empty rooms, or someone much nearer. He thought of the cold spot in the gallery, the metal taste, the heavy weight of his job, and a new, icy finger of fear traced his spine. The silence Locke talked about wasn't just out there, it was pressing in, thick and smothering. The whisper had begun, and Thomas Reed walked into the crowded heart of Manhattan. The city he knew, now changed into a maze echoing with unseen horror, wondering if the awful truth the men it Neb was delivering was already ringing, unheard by anyone else. Inside his own head was the unbearable exposure, the haunted feeling. Had the silence after the scream already started within him? The question itself felt like the first crack